Okay, this is 180 multi-voice number 1. Proper names are Officer Cartwright, Mr. Smith, Chrysler Sebring, Defense Exhibit 1, Mr. Kim Smith, Exhibit number 2, JPD, Exhibit number 4, DC, Taxation Without Representation, Washington, DC, Maryland, and Officer Levesque. I'm going to be Mr. Rosendorf.
The witness,
The court.
Mr. Rosendorf.
the witness,
The court.
And we'll start with the court and then Mr. Rosendorf. Okay.
Cross.
Yes, Your Honor. May I get some exhibit stickers from the court's indulgence? Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Officer Cartwright.
good morning, sir.
Now, were you driving or you were a passenger in the car when you had stopped Mr. Smith?
In March, I was the driver.
You were the driver
Yes,
and you observed a red Chrysler Sebring, is that correct?
yes,
Was that the red Chrysler Sebring breaking any laws, any traffic laws other than what you stopped him for?
not to the best of my recollection, no.
Have you ever seen Mr. Smith before prior to that?
I don't think so.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
This is marked as Defense Exhibit 1. Mr. Officer Cartwright, do you recognize this?
Yes, I believe I do.
And what is that?
It appears to be the car that we stopped Mr. Kim Smith in. Similar to it, if it's not the exact same car.
If you could look at what's marked as Exhibit number 2,
Okay.
can you identify that?
It seems to be a picture of what appears to be the same car.
And is that the right license plate on it?
I'd have to look at the paperwork, but I do recognize the first 2 letters, JDP, if I recall correctly.
Does that look the same way now as it in that picture as it was when you stopped the car?
To the best of my recollection, yes, sir.
And this is Exhibit number 4, which is a close-up of the tag.
It looks about the same.
This is just an exhibit number 4 of the license plate. Can you identify that or what it is actually?
I'm sorry, was the last one 3 or 4?
This one is number 4, the last one.
Okay.
Now, this is just this. What is that a picture of?
It looks like a picture of a DC license plate with a frame around it.
Now, is that frame an obstructed frame?
This is obstructing the words here at the bottom.
And what is it? Well, what is it obstructing?
It's some words that obstructing the phrase taxation without representation.
Now, you would have stopped this car
Yes, sir.
the same way?
Yes, sir.
Well, okay, is there anything else that is obstructed on these tags so you could not identify the vehicle?
The same thing seems to be obstructed.
What is obstructed in that tag?
The same phrase, taxation without representation.
Taxation without representation?
Yes.
The tag number is not obstructed, right?
No, sir.
And the words Washington, D.C. is not obstructed, is that correct?
Not completely, no, sir.
Are you aware that just about every car that's bought in Maryland has a tag frame like this?
No, I'm not aware of that, sir.
How many have you seen of it like this on the road?
I couldn't give you a number, sir.
You've probably seen hundreds of them, haven't you?
Perhaps.
Do you stop every one of them?
Not all of them, but many.
What makes you decide which ones to stop and which ones not to?
Nothing in particular. Sometimes we just pull traffic.
A random stop?
Yes, sir.
So all of these people are going by you breaking the law, and you just picked up Mr. Smith and decided to stop him in the neighborhood. Is that right?
Well, sir, we also had, if I recall correctly, there was some information regarding Mr. Smith.
You had some what now?
Some information regarding Mr. Smith.
Prior? You knew that prior before stopping him?
I was told, yes, by one of our officers in the office.
So you did know who Mr. Smith was?
I didn't know him. I never met him.
You knew of him?
I knew, yes.
So then let me ask you, and you didn't arrest him that night?
No, ma'am. No, sir. Excuse me.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
You didn't arrest him. Well, why didn't you arrest him? He had marijuana in the car. You said you had a needle. He had a tag that's obstructed. Why did you just let him go?
We didn't arrest him because we were ordered to apply for arrest warrants for misdemeanor offenses at the time.
You make stops and you're just told,
Please be quiet in the courtroom.
to wait until days later and issue an arrest warrant?
Yes, sir.
And do you know how long it took you to have that arrest warrant
I don't know.
issued?
I don't know exactly when Officer Levesque got the arrest warrant approved.
Are you aware that the arrest warrant was probably issued a day before you saw him at Starbucks?
It's possible. I'm not sure, sir.
Let me ask you. It was another officer that smelled an odor of marijuana on Mr. Smith, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You didn't smell anything in the car?
I didn't. No, sir.
So what was your probable cause to search the car?
Mr. Smith had it, the marijuana, the cigarette box with the burnt hand-rolled cigarette.
So this will be 180 multi number 2. Proper names: Ms. Gonzalez, Ms. Macias, Ingrid, Lisa Macias Rubio, Lisa Rubio, Guatemala, Ingrid, Lisa Rubio Macias, Hispanic, Mexico, Spain, Spanish, Latin-based, Macias, Gomez Rubio, Gomez Macias, Rubio, Gomez's, Omar Gomez, R1, and
Mosaico.
okay, I'm gonna be Ms. Gonzalez.
The witness.
The court.
I'm gonna be Ms. Gonzalez.
The witness.
The court.
We're starting off in colloquy with the court and then Ms. Gonzalez.
Ms. Gonzalez,
Yes, Your Honor.
but let's make sure. Do you need a minute, ma'am?
No, I'm fine.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, Ms. Macias, you are Ingrid or Lisa?
Ingrid Lisa Macias Rubio.
When did you change your name, your legal name?
Her legal name, as we established through the first 2 exhibits, is Ingrid Lisa Macias Rubio. But rephrase the question.
Ma'am, Ms. Macias, have you been known as any other person in the past, like Lisa Rubio?
My family in Guatemala.
I don't understand the response.
I don't understand her question.
Okay, let's go very simple here. Do you use in the past any other name than Ingrid Lisa Rubio Macias or Macias and then Rubio? You're here under oath. Tell the court.
I'm trying to remember, ma'am. What was your question again?
If you ever been known or use other names than Ingrid Lisa Rubio Macias?
No.
Ever?
I've always been Ingrid Lisa Macias Rubio.
Did at any time you represent to people as Lisa Rubio?
That has been asked and answered twice now.
No, this is another question.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
If in any time of your life you have represented to people as Lisa Rubio?
Not that I can recall.
Okay, if your legal name is Ingrid Lisa Rubio Macias?
I think it's the other way around. Macias Rubio.
Okay, so you're from Guatemala, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Which is a Hispanic country, same as Mexico.
Not the same as Mexico. It's Guatemala.
Okay, our ancestors were from Spain, the majority of Spain, isn't it?
I don't know history, ma'am.
Okay, in the Hispanic culture, you use both names, sometimes one or sometimes another, isn't it?
I've always used Ingrid Lisa Macias Rubio.
And sometimes when it's convenient to you or to people, you can call either one if it's not hyphenated, isn't it?
She clearly testified that she's gone by the same name, all four of those names that I'm not going to mispronounce again, throughout her lifetime. What other people may do or what other people in the culture may do is not important.
Judge, this is important. Ma'am,
Wait.
what?
What other people do is not relevant to what's going on here today.
Well, Judge, this is just a general, little bit of introductory question to the witness.
Okay, if it helps.
I'm going specifically to her. I'm just asking her that in the Spanish culture.
Okay, just a moment. If it helps move things along a little quicker, I will take judicial notice that it is very common in this area of the country and in other Southwestern or Latin-based cultures for people to use two names. One, their father's name, and two, their mother's name, if that helps.
So what is your last name, ma'am? Rubio or Macias?
His last name is Macias.
Macias. Are you positive, ma'am?
Uh-huh.
You need to answer with words.
Well, I understand where she's going, and I would like to explain what she's trying to say.
Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. Ms. Gonzalez gets to cross-examine you. You only answer the question that she asks you, and then if your attorney has further questions or wants you to clarify, you'll have that opportunity then. But that's, Ms. Gonzalez gets to cross-examine and she gets to ask the questions.
If your father is Macias, why in the birth certificate of the child, the subject of this suit, you inscribed him as Gomez Rubio, not Gomez Macias? Can you explain?
Yes, I can.
What is that?
I was abandoned by my father when I was 2 years old. So now, when I have children, I do not continue the Macias. I changed it to Rubio because my mother has been my father and my mother for me. So it's a very personal choice that I have made throughout my life that I don't want to continue with Macias for my children because my father does not deserve that legend.
Okay, did you go to court and change legally your name to Macias instead of Rubio?
No, I have not done it for me, just for my children.
Okay, so is it fair to say that when it's convenient to you, you're Ingrid Macias, and when it's not convenient, you're Lisa Rubio?
For me, it's always the full name. It's Ingrid Lisa Macias Rubio.
Is it fair to say that sometime after 2002 that you decided to change your name because you feel good about it without any legal proceedings?
I didn't change my name.
Okay, and you testified before that you lived with the Gomez's some time back. You don't remember 1999, 1997, all the way to 2000, 2002, on and on.
I lived with the Gomez's for 2 years with Omar Gomez.
May I approach, Your Honor?
We used to live in the garage.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm going to show you what I mark R1. See if you recognize that piece of evidence.
I don't recognize what Mosaico book it is.
Did you subscribe to a book club back in 2002 where your name then was Lisa Rubio?
I don't remember subscribing to this.
Is that you?
It is my...
Okay. Okay. This is the 160 multi number 1, proper names, all care, Dr. Frey, take care, Dr. Ang. I'm going to be Mr. Maranga.
The witness?
Mr. Hyman.
Mr. Maranga.
The witness?
Mr. Hyman.
We'll start with questioning by Mr. Maranga. Who do you owe money to?
I owe money to for...
Let's try it this way. Do you owe any money to All Care?
No, I don't owe any money to All Care.
Do you owe any money to Dr. Frey?
No, I don't.
Do you owe any money for physical therapy?
No, I don't.
Do you owe any money for pharmacy bills?
No.
What do you owe money for? I'm at a loss.
I owe money for, I hope I don't owe any money for the ambulance because that should have been taken care of. And they sent me notes and I gave all the work to take care.
You gave the receipt to take care. The bill on that?
Yeah, I gave them all the papers and so
Is the ambulance company the only medical provider that you think you may still owe money to?
yes,
All right. You mentioned the credit union. Did you take a loan from your credit union to pay for any of your expenses or loss of earnings in this case?
I didn't take a loan from my credit union. I had to pay them because they didn't get their money. So I had to pay them, the credit union.
Because you didn't get what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
When I was off, they didn't get their money. So I had to pay them.
Is there a deduction that you would pay to them?
Yeah, I had to pay.
Do you remember when in 1994 you took the loan?
I believe it was January.
And what did you use for collateral on that loan?
Perhaps we can define collateral.
Do you own a home?
No, I don't.
Did you put up anything
No,
to pay for the loan? Nothing
no,
to guarantee it?
no.
What was the reason why you took the $4,000 loan in 1994?
Because I needed the money to pay off some bills and I knew that I was going to start back to work.
Do you make monthly payments on the loan?
I guess.
We don't want you to guess. Say, I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Don't guess.
Do you remember it being a different split than you had on when you left All Care on January 9, 1993?
The only difference that it was wrapped, but I don't remember if it was a different splint or what.
And you were given crutches at that time?
Yes,
And you were told not to walk on the leg, correct?
yes,
Your return visit to All Care, I think you said, was the following Monday?
yes,
That was January 11, 1993, when Dr. Ang told you you had a sprain, right?
yes.
At the time of that visit, did Dr. Ang tell you to keep the splint on?
I don't recall that.
Okay,
I don't remember that.
Did he tell you to keep using the crutches?
When I first seen him,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember that.
Did he tell you you could walk on the ankle?
No,
So it was your understanding that as of January 11, 1993, you were not supposed to walk on the ankle, correct?
correct. And I wasn't going to walk, correct.
Do you know whether the splint was removed at that time?
They gave me an x-ray.
All right. And after the x-ray, did they put the splint back on so that when you
objection, lack of foundation.
left All Care, you were still wearing the splint?
This is on the 11th that we are referring to.
That's the only date we're on.
And when I had the x-rays, I had a splint, I believe so, but I don't remember.
And do you remember how that was put on your ankle? Was it wrapped on your ankle?
I don't remember, but
If you don't remember, you don't remember.
all I know, it was harder.
Was this new, harder splint a splint that you could take on and off yourself?
Possibly, but I didn't.
Well, was it a cast that you couldn't take off?
No, they didn't. It wasn't a cast.
All right, so it was a harder splint.
Yes,
What part of your foot, ankle, or leg did it cover?
I believe it covered everything but the toe. I don't remember,
And how far above your ankle did this new splint go?
Maybe right here. I'm not sure.
Counsel, I'll rely on you to describe it.
Let the record reflect. Where are you pointing to?
Maybe right here. I'm not sure.
Mid-leg area?
Mid-calf.
Mid-calf?
Mid-calf.
And were you told to
Mr. Hayes.
Okay, this is the 160 multi-voice number 2. Proper names, Mr. Haig, Reginald Moore, God, Jeffrey Love, Mr. Moore, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, Los Angeles, Nissan Maxima, People's One, T-shirt, Jeffrey, Bell Gardens, and Bicycle Club. I'm going to be Mr. Haig.
The witness,
The court.
I'm going to be Mr. Haig, and
the witness,
The court.
Mr. Haig will start off in colloquy, followed by the court. I go next?
Yeah, thank you. You are going first, right?
Yes, I believe so.
All right. All jurors and alternates are present. Mr. Haig, you reserved your opening statement. Do you wish to make one now?
No, Your Honor. We'd just like to present the evidence.
All right.
Your Honor, defense calls Reginald Moore to the stand.
Sir, if you stand right here, the clerk will swear you. You do solemnly swear that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Please have a seat in the witness stand. Please state your name for the record.
Reginald Moore.
Thank you.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
We're all waiting.
Mr. Moore, do you know Jeffrey Love?
Yes, I do.
How do you know him, Mr. Moore?
He's a friend.
How long have you known Mr. Love?
Quite a while. Quite some time.
How long is quite a while?
Mostly his life, when he was younger.
How old are you?
42,
How old is Mr. Love about?
about 30-something.
Are you a little bit nervous this afternoon?
Yes.
Try to calm down. I am going to ask you some questions, and then the district attorney will have a chance to ask you some questions also, okay?
Okay.
Now, you say you've known Mr. Love for most of his life,
Yes.
since he was a little kid.
Yeah.
How is it that you know him or knew him?
Family. Through the family.
Are you related at all to Mr. Love?
No.
On January 16th of the year 2000, do you recall that date?
Yes.
That was the date that you were arrested?
Yes.
Did you see Mr. Love on that date?
Yes. Sometime that morning.
How was it that you came into contact with Mr. Love? When did you first see him that morning?
I was in my mother's house in town for the weekend and came by. Went for breakfast.
Did you know that Jeffrey was going to come by before he came by?
Yeah. He had called over, asked if we was going to go to breakfast. We went to breakfast.
Just the two of you?
Yeah.
Where did you go to breakfast?
A place called Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
And what city is that located in?
Los Angeles.
Do you recall what time you came over about to go to breakfast?
No, I don't know what time it was. It was early.
And was he driving the Nissan Maxima that's on this exhibit that's been marked as People's One?
Yes.
This Nissan Maxima that's in these pictures?
Yes.
Had you ever been in that car before?
No. First time.
Do you recall what you were wearing that morning?
Like a long sleeve t-shirt and some khaki type pants.
What color was the shirt, if you recall?
Brown.
And khaki pants?
Brown.
Long pants?
Yes, long pants.
Did you have a jacket?
No.
Did you have a hat?
No.
Did you have any identification or any money on you?
Yeah, I had money. And I didn't have a wallet. No identification.
Did you have any plan to do anything with Jeffrey after having breakfast?
Come back to my mother's house and leave. Leave town with my fiance.
Leave town to where?
Las Vegas.
Is that where you were living at the time?
Yes.
Is there some reason that you went some other place after having breakfast?
Said he needed to stop by his house before he dropped me back off.
And where does Jeffrey live?
I didn't know where. I don't know exactly where it was.
Do you know the city?
I guess it was, I'm not sure. Might have been Bell Gardens. I don't know if he was still in Bell Gardens or not. I'm not sure.
So did you end up going back to Jeffrey's house?
Yeah, we drove by there.
Did you go inside the house?
No, I waited in the car.
What did Mr. Love do?
Went in and came back out.
Do you recall what Jeffrey was wearing that day?
No, I don't.
Do you know if he had on a jacket?
Can't really recall.
After going to Jeffrey's house, did Jeff drive the car somewhere else?
Excuse me. Yeah, we stopped by that casino there. Casino.
Is that the bicycle club?
Bicycle club.
Is that the one that we've been talking about in court?
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay, had you ever been there before?
No,
And there's a reason why you stopped by the bicycle club? Was it your choice?
no, not my choice. Just